Testing, 1, 2, 3. Welcome back to episode 5 of Random Podcast by Alex. I'm sorry I haven't been able to make a lot of podcasts because, like, before this, my main goal was to make podcasts every day or at least once in 3 days. But I haven't made any because, first, my ring light broke, but I managed to fix it today. And the second one is that I've been going out drinking nonstop. My friends have been inviting me. We drank for 5 nights straight this week. So obviously I had no time because I was mostly intoxicated. But yeah, so now I have the time. It's a Sunday. We are all resting, and today's topic will be about my mental health journey. I think this is one of the most highly requested podcast because I am very, very open about my mental health journey, like about my diagnosis and everything. I share it with you guys a lot on every social media platform that I have: TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, but not Facebook. Facebook is just for family photos and all that. So, oh, and also a lot of people ask me, like, how do I seek therapy? How much is therapy and all that? I'm going to explain everything in this one podcast. So, I suspected that I became depressed around 13 years old, right after I finished UPSR. Because I was such a smart kid. I was such a bright kid. I actually got straight A's for UPSR. So I think that when I entered high school, everything became harder and the expectations from my parents became higher. I don't blame them, but like, I wanted to be smarter again. Like, I want to be smart again, but suddenly I was doing so bad, especially with the pressure of being the smart one. I became very depressed at such early age, 13. I was always losing sleep. I would go to school without any sleep and all that until Form 5. I was in a horrible mental state. Like, oh yeah, trigger warning for any of you guys listening or watching right now. If you cannot hear anything about suicide, self-harm, depression, rape, etc., you can stop now. I'm giving you 5 seconds to leave the podcast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, goodbye. So, entering 15 years old, I started self-harming, and my very first suicide attempt was when I was 15, on my 15th birthday, actually, 28 March 2015. And it failed. And then my second attempt was when I was 19. And after 19, the most recent one was December 18, I think. Was it December 18 or December 17 last year? I'm not sure, but it was around that time. I tried to overdose, but also failed. So I have failed 3 attempts now. But I think I'm in a better place now lah. So what I am diagnosed with. Okay, before that, I will explain how I ended up in therapy. So basically, my mother, she caught me smoking cigarettes. And she got really pissed. Like, I have never heard that much verbal, I would say verbal abuse from her, right? It was a lot. It was really a lot. But then again, I think about the past few years. Like, I spent my whole high school years depressed. So when my mom said, I'm sending you to therapy, I was like, sure, why the fuck not? I've been struggling for so long. Nicotine addiction is not the only thing I need to fix. Oh, by the way, I'm still a heavy smoker until now. It doesn't work. Firstly, I went to a private clinic, okay? It was at Batu Lintang, for anyone in Kuching. It was at Batu Lintang. I was diagnosed with depression, MDD, major depressive disorder. uh, anxiety, PTSD, insomnia, ADHD. Four more. BPD, and then borderline eating disorder. Uh, I forgot the other two lah. Shit. What else, huh? Oh, bipolar. Oh, at first I was diagnosed with bipolar type 2 until I changed clinics. It was actually bipolar type 3. And number 9 is insomnia, ADHD, PTSD. Did I mention PTSD? Okay, whatever. I think the ones that I've mentioned, yeah, those are my diagnosis. I have 9 on my list. Because my case was pretty heavy, I had to see the doctor weekly. I mean my therapist lah, weekly, and I had to spend 300 plus ringgit every week, and I was doing that for like 4 months, which was really bad because my parents have to pay 1K every month for my therapy. So we decided for my therapist to refer me to the public one. I mean the government one, which is Hospital Sentosa. Now I'm under Sentosa. And what I can tell you is that being in a government hospital, right, is actually way better than in private. Because, okay, when I was in private, my therapist was very old. So he had a very traditional mindset. He was nice. He was really nice. But he had a really traditional mindset to the point that he would always cite on my parents if I do have like problems with my parents. So there were a lot of things that we didn't agree on. We were not on the same wavelength, maybe because of the generation gap. But I don't regret seeking help from him at first. And then I was referred to the government one. Then I realized there are a lot of young therapists. They're really young. Because I realize nowadays, millennials and Gen Zs as well, a lot of them are getting into psychology. So we are getting a lot of new, younger therapists. Like I can even open up about illegal substance abuse that I do. And they won't care. Seriously. It's not like they don't care, but like they don't condemn me for it, They're like, oh, if it helps you, it helps you. See? So I currently have 2 therapists at Hospital Sentosa because I have to do counseling and psychotherapy, both. And both of them are amazing. Seriously, both of them are amazing. So if you want to start seeking therapy, you can just go to any psychiatric clinic. Okay, and then just go to the counter. Hey, I am a new case. If you suspect yourself of having depression, just say, oh, I suspect that my mental health is not at its best. You can just go and tell the counter what you suspect you have lah, right? It's that easy. And then you register for like 5 minutes, and then you'll see the therapist, and then the therapist will okay, he will mostly, I mean, I'll just use they lah, because therapists can be any gender. They can give you counseling, but if your case is too heavy, they're going to give you medication as well. What I would suggest is that if you think counseling is enough for you, stick to counseling, because once you get into medication, you kind of depend on it, which is like me. I can't really sleep without my sleeping pills anymore. And okay, so if your case is heavy and you have to take medication, or if you yourself consider that you need medications, that's also perfectly fine. But what I want to tell you guys about medications is that I think medication works way better than counseling and therapy for me, because like I said, I'm always not on the same wavelength as my therapist. It's very hard to find a therapist that really is on your side. You know what I mean? It's hard. It's really hard because everyone has different personalities and all that. And especially me with BPD, borderline personality disorder. So, medication. Back to medications. The first journey to medications is going to be hard. Like for the first 2 months, you might have to change your medication many times because you might suffer from side effects. And if you suffer from that side effect for more than 2 days, please contact your therapist again and ask for a change in medication. And once you find that perfect prescription for yourself, it will be amazing for you. Seriously, it took me like 3 months for the therapist to keep changing my medication because nothing was working. I was actually getting worse and I was relapsing even. Antidepressants can actually do that. Currently, I'm on antidepressants, antipsychotics, and then another Seroquel and clonazepam. Yeah. Uh, but they help me a lot on a daily basis. Like before this, my mood swings are always up and down, all that lah. Because yeah, I'm obviously bipolar. But with medication, it has really helped me a lot for 8 months. 8 months already, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, 8 months already. Damn long. Almost 1 year. So I would suggest you guys to stick to counseling if you can. But if your case is too heavy, get ready for medication. It's not gonna be bad. You might be dependent on it, but if it helps you, it helps you. Okay? And I think that is all for my podcast. Like, I want to share details about my PTSD and how I became depressed and everything, but I don't think I can share it online because it's very personal. But since a lot of you guys asked, how do you seek therapy and all that? Yeah, just go to a psychiatric clinic. That's it. Also, if you are struggling and if you need a person to talk to and your therapist is not available at the moment, please find someone who's mentally stable or call, like befrienders and all that. You can try calling people who can give you professional help. Because even though I am open about my mental health issues, a lot of people think I can be their therapist, which is really bad because I remember last week this one girl just suddenly send me a fresh photo, a photo of her fresh cuts on her arms, and she was like, I can't do this anymore. And I was like, yo, hold on. You know that I suffer from the same thing too, right? Do you know how triggering this is? Plus, I was in public. I was at the bar. A panic attack was almost coming because I saw that. And I told her, can you please seek for professional help? You can even go to the ER if you feel suicidal. You can. Or speak to a mentally stable person. Just because I'm open about my diagnosis, it doesn't mean that I'm going to be everyone's therapist. I'm just sharing my experience with you guys so that you'll know what to do. Okay? But yeah, this is a message to a lot of my followers. You guys can ask me advice and everything. You can ask me how to start therapy and all that, but don't come to me when you're at your worst mental state or suicidal state, because I will not help at all, because I have a lot on my plate and I will not know what to do other than falling into another panic attack because it gets triggering for me. So yeah, that's my last message to you guys for this podcast. Thank you for listening, and I really hope that the ones who are suffering without therapy, please hang in there and try to seek professional help as soon as possible. And then for those who are in therapy, like my therapist said that I might have to be on medication for over 10 years. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine if it's gonna take years for you to heal. We don't heal exactly. We don't heal from depression. We learn how to cope with depression and other mental illnesses. That's the most important part. Okay? Once you learn how to cope with it, it's game over, bro. You can go on with life. Learn how to cope with these things that pull you down. So yeah, did I even make sense today? I feel like I didn't make any sense today. I don't know, I'm kind of sleepy also, but thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Hopefully I will update a new podcast soon about bartending, because a lot of you guys know I am a bartender and also a freelance makeup artist and a hairdresser. I'm going to talk more on that soon. But thank you so much for listening for this one. I hope everyone has a I hope everyone has a great week ahead, because it's a Sunday and tomorrow is gonna be Monday. So yeah, thank you and good night, everyone.